There are certain times of the year when grief feels closer to the surface. And for me, this year, May has become one of those months. Mother's Day arrives. And just 2 days later, May 12th marks 21 years since my mother passed away. 21 years. And if there's one thing I've learned about grief over the years, it's that it does not disappear. It reintroduces itself. Yes. If this is your first time listening, my name is Sheila. Welcome to Voice Notes with Sheila, a soft space to reflect, reset, and remember who you are. This podcast is where I speak honestly about life, growth, transition, grief, and the quiet things we carry but do not always say out loud. And today, I want to talk about mothers, grief, time, and what it means to continue becoming after losing someone who shaped your world. So, a myth about grief. I used to think grief would become quieter with time, like just go away, forget it, right? I thought maybe after enough years passed, it will soften into something distant, like very distant. But I don't think that's what's happened. I think I changed. And I've gotten older, of course. I've understood the loss differently because every version of me has missed my mother differently. The younger version of me missed comfort, of course. But the woman I am now, she misses guidance, protection, unconditional love. The feeling of having your person. And I think that's one of the hardest parts for me right now. Realizing that everyone around me has their person with their people, right? My father has his family. My brother has his family. And my cousins, they all have their families. And I say this with no resentment at all, truly. But sometimes I quietly realize I don't think I have that person anymore. And that loneliness, it has become louder as I've grown older. Sometimes life gets heavy and I catch myself wishing I could just pack my things and go home. And then I remember home is with me now. And that's such a strange thing to realize as an adult, that the place I once felt like emotional safety, it's no longer a physical place you can return to. You become responsible for carrying yourself, for comforting yourself, for holding yourself together. And some days I do it very well, and other days feels really, really lonely. But even after 20 years, there are parts of my mother that still live so clearly inside me. I remember her laughter. She has this, we call it gap teeth. I don't know if you understand that, but she had this space in her front teeth and the most beautiful smile. And when she laughed with her whole heart. Like you could hear it and immediately start laughing too, even if you had absolutely no idea what the joke was. Yes. And sometimes I think about how much of her stayed with me, how much I took from her, how much I resemble her. My empathy, my softness, the fact that I cry so easily now. And honestly, it's becoming alarming at this point. Come on. I'm happy, I cry. I'm winning, I cry. I'm losing, I cry. I love somebody, I cry. But maybe that softness came from somewhere. Maybe part of loving deeply is feeling deeply too, right? And sometimes I wonder what my mother will think about the woman I'm becoming. And honestly, I think she'll be proud. I've said this before in my other podcast. She will be absolutely proud. And I also think she'll be so shocked at how much the world has changed, right? What a time to be dead and alive, honestly. Like, but sometimes I also think she's probably not missing out so much. I mean, except for me and watching me grow into this beautiful woman. And somehow that thought makes me laugh and cry at the same time. I think this season feels especially heavy because everything is happening close together. Mother's Day, her passing anniversary in May, then her birthday and funeral anniversary comes in June. So this time of the year always asks something emotional from me. And maybe some of you listening understand that too. Maybe there are certain months that carry memories for you. Certain dates that quietly change the atmosphere of your life. And I think, very importantly, that this is also what I want to say to women this season, to mothers, to daughters, to women carrying families, responsibilities, emotions, expectations. Please, please, please remember yourselves too. I do not know what it feels like to be a biological mother, but I absolutely know what sacrifice looks like. I know what it looks like to pour endlessly into people, to keep showing up, to carry others while quietly carrying yourself too. And maybe this is your reminder to pause, like I've always said. Pause, to breathe, to care for yourself intentionally. Because life keeps teaching me that we also have to become a safe space, a safe place for ourselves. Be that mother, but also be that person for you. 21 years later, my mother is still not forgotten. The grief stayed, but so did the love. And maybe that's what grief really becomes over time. Part memory, part longing, part love, part becoming. And even now, it still reintroduces itself. So, thank you so much for sitting with me today. And happy Mother's Day to all the amazing women out there. And like I'll always say, I really look forward to hearing from you. I would love to hear from you, especially if this episode resonates with you or any other episodes. You can always reach me at voicenoteswithsheila@gmail.com. And until the next voice notes, please, please take care of yourself. Thank you.